Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm de Sade, the prince's nephew. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers.
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. Might I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
Nothing to bother yourself about. I'm just curious.
You wouldn't, by the sheerest of coincidences, be on the trail of a couple of heretics, Your Excellency. The same a couple of the ambassadors of Teleme's men have been looking for nigh on 2 days.
And so you know about that?
Of course. The Cardinal's henchmen are hard to miss, even in a crowd. And they were making quite a fuss, hoping we would cave in and help them in their hunt. Feel free to carry out your own investigation, but you'll end up with the same answers. The port brigs, just like the warehouses, are property of the Nords. No one else may enter.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
This Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavio and Lauro.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Nord?
Our magic, yes, that only the Nords master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is seaborn. He is a Nord from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Nords for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
Could you tell me anything about our destination? The island of Teofredi?
It is a magnificent place. Wild. spared from your wars and your mines for now. The natives have a relationship with their land and consider it sacred. They're a very friendly people, welcoming, that will appear to you strangely familiar. I've also heard that there are a great many exotic creatures, some enormous. But I wouldn't know what else to tell you. I've never strayed far from the ports.
What do you think of our port?
Are you referring to this one? It is the biggest high seas port on the continent. Thanks to your prince, even though it remains part of your city, it holds a particular status for us Nords. Certain zones are owned completely by us, and maritime law holds office. It's a good port. Were it not for the Malachor, it would be a pleasant place to dock.
I have a favor to ask before we leave.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel...
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Serene leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tier 4D. He's placed guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse, and noted on the manifest, will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurt. At least we tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to dock to the manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbour Master's office. Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
Do you have any idea how to get in there without being noticed?
Let's take a look around the building. We might find a less conspicuous entrance.
Where is the manifest to be found?
I've already been to the port authorities. They keep the official documents upstairs.
To my house! And death to the others! Things are about to get dicey! Things are about to get dicey.
Here's the ship's manifest. We only need to add our merchandise to the list.
If you wore a Naut uniform and you were able to keep your mark hidden from them, they might let us in, unless we just offered them a drink. These sailors rarely refuse one.
I see where this is headed. If we drop a little soporific in their glasses, the way will be clear. I'll just need to find the proper ingredients, but it's doable.
Hello? What can I do for you?
We're the relay. You're dismissed.
Finally! We were starting to grow moss. Courage, me hearties. The path is clear. We should notify the men. They need all the time they can get.
Captain, sir, we were given orders to wait here with the merchandise.
The way is clear. It's time to get going.
Do your best to be quick and quiet about it. You won't have much time to move it.
Don't you be worrying now. We're off.
The warehouse is at the end to the right there. You can't miss it.
Move out. Quick steps.
What's your hat, Al? Welcome. It's such a pleasure to see you again. Have you seen anything to your liking? What might I help you with? Thank you for your visit. See you soon. Come closer. People, don't be afraid. Come on. Celebrate the miracle of science. You won't believe your eyes. This discovery will give you faith and persistence.
Perhaps we'll discover some useful information.
Good day. Someone told me that you're a friend of Jonas's, the young cabin boy who's gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro, and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
I need to be going. Farewell. Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 deaf winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand? Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof. Gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left. You get me?
Did Jonas seem troubled to you the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a just man who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Thank you, Lara. I need to be going.
Strange story, this.
Something isn't right here, I can feel it. We need to lift the veil on this.
Good day, tavern keeper.
Good day to you. What is your pleasure?
I'm looking for a Naut. A young cabin boy who's been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping. In my establishment. You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
Has the Malachor really put a damper on your business?
More than a damper. They were soaked. When the sickness began to spread, a wave of panic followed in its wake. People stopped going out of their homes. They were afraid. I was close to closing shop, I tell you. And then, thankfully, the alchemists of the bridge said that you couldn't just catch it like that. People were still distrustful, as is their nature, but they are leaving home again. It's a start. I also lost quite a few regular customers. Dead or too scared to venture back. Oh, but that's nothing new to you. The city would have sunk in the water if not for trade with the New Isle.
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age, hair down to his neck, light brown, blue eyes, quite the talker.
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's not the case.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'd be obliged. If not, you'll need to pay.
The furniture is in terrible condition. The fight must have been extremely violent.
It looks as if it's fixable. I've seen work. We'll need to build some metal dowels, but once done, we can make them like new.
I could repair this if I had some metal dowels. I could repair this if I had some metal dowels. I could repair this if I had some metal dowels.
Well then, were you able to repair it all?
No, I haven't been able to sort them out.
In that case, you need to pay me, sir.
Here you are, to cover your expenses.
Excellent. Honest books makes for honest friendships. Your cousin is either a very bad joker or a right good fool. He went and insulted a band of ruffians from the lower boroughs. Dangerous fellows. They've a storehouse they operate out of a few streets from here.
What kind of business do they run?
Several, actually, and they're all illegal and profitable. But you didn't hear that from me. In any case, if you were set on recovering your cousin, I would hurry if I were you. They're not the tender sorts.
Thank you for the information.
Off with ya. Get him out of whatever mess he's got himself into. Seemed like a courageous fellow. Who could down his pint. Anything else?
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No. Have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I am here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Theleme embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from life?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Don't be afraid. Come, citizens, I present to you Panacea, the absolute cure of everything. Toothache, stomach ailment, and even an open wound. This potion heals all of that. And more still, this little phial is the product of years of research and intensive labor. I hear you asking if this remedy can heal one from the Malachor. Alas, not yet. But your question is legitimate. I am so close to finding the cure. But the Malachor isn't the only ailment causing you to suffer. Not true? Then don't miss out on this chance and give yourself a healthy and energized life. Rejoice! A phial only costs a few coins, and well worth it to make your life shiny and new again.
Does it really heal everything, your potion?
Everything. Absolutely everything. Except the Malachor, of course. That being said, it is known that those in top health resist the Malachor best of all. Then don't throw away this chance. Think of all the pains that this potion could help you avoid.
You are right. It's a deal. I'm gonna take 2.
There's a man that knows a good deal when he sees one. Hurry now. There won't be enough for everyone.
There he is. He's our man, no doubt.
His speech is well polished. I even feel like buying some.
And if we had a word with him, I wonder if he'll serve us the same routine.
Ah, you're finally tempted.
In all honesty, I haven't made up my mind yet. I want to be certain that I'm not dealing with a charlatan.
In this day and age, I can't blame you. What might I do to convince you?
Are there any nasty side effects with this remedy of yours?
There are none. You will feel nothing but an intense sense of well-being.
Will you drink one of your potions to prove your good faith?
Of course. I take a little sip every morning. But as I'm in perfect health, you won't be able to verify the improvement in my condition. But if it helps you make up your mind, give me just a moment. There now. As you see, I am still in excellent condition.
Come on now, I swear you take that vial out of your pocket. Nothing proves that it's the same potion that you sell to your clients.
As a man of science, I consider skepticism a remarkable quality. But in your case, it is not skepticism, but blindness.
We need to steal one of these potions and force him to drink it.
Brilliant idea, Kurt. Let's take a look at his cup.
Might I help you, sir?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lord de Sade. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We're looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it's their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.